move this whole roof down. Oh my gosh.
Everyone's going to move 3 steps that way.
Okay, do me a favor. We have to shimmy this entire group down. Yep, down the hallway. So the whole down the hallway. Yes. We have to shift down. Sorry.
Everyone taking it with 3 steps to your right.
To the right.
3 to 4 steps to your right.
Down. Sorry.
Keep moving.
Keep on moving, folks. Sorry. Keep on moving. Keep on moving.
That's right. Keep them that way. Everyone
Okay. We need to move 3 more steps, folks. Sorry.
3 more steps.
To the right. 3 more steps down the hallway. 3 more steps down the hallway. Thank you for working with us. Thank you. And then this is line in the sand right here. So that one has to go in. Like that way. Are we okay here? Yeah? Okay. Absolutely. going to hang for departure. We're not moving. Not yet. So, Robert, there's a lot of that. Oh, right here, down here. Right here. Right here.
Okay, troops, you're going to get a very short shot here. The President will answer a couple of questions. He wants to go onto the floor and watch him pass the sanctions bill. So,
Mr. President, Mr. President,
all
what are
right, go kneel fine. You pick one. Pick one.
Full cameras here.
what are you asking?
Good to see you. First of all, we're very thankful to senators and we're very thankful for this discussion. The discussion was with details how to help Ukraine, and we are thankful that this bill is very important. Sanctions pressure on Russia is very important, and really it gives. It's not only about money, how to stop to finance this war, but it's also a big signal to Europe, big signal to Ukraine, big support of our people. So I'm very thankful. I hope that, God bless, we will have positive results.
So, one more question.
How was the visit overall? How was the visit overall? Have you achieved the goal? Will Ukraine receive more missiles? What was the conversation with
So
Donald
we
Trump?
speak about Patriot missiles. Really, it's true. Now we spoke with the senators about it. So that Ukraine really can produce everything, which can destroy everything from Iranian Shaheeds to Russian drones and etc. We have drone interceptors, modern systems of electronic warfare. Real problem is anti-ballistic systems and anti-ballistic missiles. And of course, I shared what we need, our needs. I shared it with the president today. I'm very thankful to him for this meeting. And now I shared with senators. So we will try to manage it. It's a big challenge.
Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Vote is already at 61, so we are moving to this bill. It's going to pass.
The President really would like to go and see this. So, thank you all for
We
coming.
want him to be able to see his back.
John?
61. Which is it's done.
61. We're up to 61.
Back up.
Mr. Warnock. Aye. Mrs. Shaheen. Mrs. Shaheen. Aye. Mr. Schumer. Mr. Schumer. Aye. Mr. Welch. Mr. Welch. No. Mr. Markey. Mr. Markey. No. Mr. Johnson. Aye. Ms. Hassan. Ms. Hassan. No. Mr. Wyden. Mr. Wyden. No. Mrs. Murray. Mrs. Murray. Aye. Mr. Ossoff. Mr. Ossoff. No. Mr. Kim, no. Mr. Barrasso.
That we've been working on has bipartisan support, as you saw, large bipartisan support. The president helped. We worked with the president on it, and it's taken a long period of time to get where we are. But this is the right thing to do at this time, and it's going to get a big vote before it gets out of here, and we're all happy to see that happen. We hope the House takes this up quickly and moves it across the finish line. With that,
Yeah, this it's been a roller coaster of a day, emotionally. The sadness of saying farewell to our great friend who has been so instrumental in this fight. The exhilaration now of a really solid step forward, partly in tribute to him, and the visit by President Zelensky showing us that Ukraine is turning the tide. Ukraine's fight is our fight. Nobody believed that more deeply and passionately than Lindsey Graham. He lived it. And this vote is a step forward. We still have a path we need to travel, but it is a profoundly solid vote for Ukraine, showing that the American people are on Ukraine's side and that we will stand with Ukraine, stopping the flow of blood money, fueling Russia's slaughter and its murderous invasion, and bringing Putin to the table for peace. That is why Senator Graham and I negotiated this bill painfully, as well as painstakingly, in great detail and complexity, with constraints on the tariff authority, but scorching sledgehammer sanctions on Russia to stop this war machine. And it will be a fitting tribute to Senator Graham when we pass it. Senator Britt, or
Well,
Jordan Biden.
Senator Britt is pushing me up here. This has been a momentous 2 weeks with the negotiation with the administration and our friends from across the sea to have this language tight and settled and ready for legislation, and then to see Lindsey pass away unexpectedly. But this vote tonight is more than a tribute to Lindsey Graham. This is an overwhelming vote.
That's right.
It's an overwhelming show of support from senators representing East and West and North and South across this great country, Democrat and Republican, to say that we need to take this additional, very, very important step of sanctions. We wish it had been done much earlier, but this is a great moment, a great step. The president of Ukraine, President Zelensky, realizes that we're not out of the woods yet. The momentum is in the Ukrainians' favor, but winter's coming on in just a few months, and there's much more to do. But we celebrate, and I commend the leadership of those standing behind me for a very important step. And again, I say, this may turn out to be Lindsey Graham's greatest legislative achievement in a stellar 32-year career.
Well, as all my colleagues have said, this is a critical step forward in helping Ukraine to end this unprovoked war. And it is a tribute to Lindsey Graham, to Dick Blumenthal for the 1.5 years of work that they negotiated, and to bring it across the finish line now with a very targeted piece of legislation that is designed to cut off the money that is fueling this war from Russia. And that's the goal of this bill. So it's not just sanctions, it's the tariffs to ensure that they can no longer benefit from selling their oil and gas through the shadow fleet to the rest of the world. And the number one purchaser is China. And as we look at what's happening in the Middle East, addressing Russia and China's support for this war helps us as we're looking at what's happening in the Middle East. So it's all connected, and this is a major step forward. Now we need to make sure that we can work with the House to take it up. We had a number of bipartisan members of the House who were here listening to the President tonight, and we're hopeful that that's a good sign as we look at how to get this bill across the finish line.
Okay.
What a day. The heaviness of the day is not lost on any of us. 2 weeks ago, we stood here in a bipartisan fashion. You had people from all cross sections of their conference standing shoulder to say, we want this bill to move forward. We want Putin's war machine to end. We want accountability for the Kremlin, and we want to drive Putin to the table and ultimately have peace. Well, in typical Lindsay fashion, he found a way for us to vote on this bill right after we came back from celebrating his life. I know that he told me, and he told a number of people standing up here, that despite all of the incredible things that he did throughout his tenure, and I hope that y'all will look at that, this man had his hand in everything. There was nothing that went on in this building or really around the world that he didn't have an idea that he wanted to advance for the betterment of the people that he served. But he said, with all the things that he had done, that this legislation, getting it across the finish line and to the president's desk, would be the most consequential piece of legislation that he had ever led. I want to thank these people up here because they stood shoulder to shoulder with Senator Graham, Senator Blumenthal, lockstep for a year and a half, trying to figure out what is the pathway forward. Your relationship with Senator Graham is what the Senate is supposed to be. This group took all of their different talents and skill sets and knowledge, whether it was Shadow Fleet, to armed services, to foreign relations. Guys, they did the work. They did the work because they want to see the killing end. They want to see a peaceful resolution, and they want America to continue to show strength around the globe. And that's what we just did tonight. We heard from President Zelensky in this room as the United States Senate and some members of Congress, and then we walked out there and did something. We showed the world that we stand for strength, we stand for peace, and we stand with Ukraine. And so I am hopeful that when we get this across the finish line, which is going to happen in a big way, that the House will come back immediately and pass this legislation. We want to see these tools be used to bring a resolution that is a long time coming. And I have to just reflect on one thing. Lindsay, when we left Normandy after the 80th anniversary of D-Day, he was reflecting on what that meant and the sacrifice of so many of our men and women. And he said to me, this reminded me how important the decisions we make as political leaders are. Because when we fail to do our jobs, young men and women are sent off to war. Tonight, we did not fail to do our job. We stood tall, and I am proud that the United States of America is leading. Thank you.
We'll take a couple questions, but let me put a little finer point on this. In this room, as you heard, we had President Zelensky a little bit ago, and also the President of Finland was in this room with us also. And the question was put to them about the impact of this legislation, which really has nothing to do with a kinetic fight, but has everything to do with Putin being able to fund that fight. Both were of the opinion that this was at least as effective, maybe more effective at bringing this war to an end that everybody wants to see. And this piece of legislation may have more effect than anything that's done on the battlefield. So
to quote Zelensky directly, we need this bill.
Clearly. Yes. So with that, jump ball.
How long will it take?
What message are you sending to Vladimir Putin tonight?
What would we say to him, or what does this bill say?
This bill sends a message.
This bill says to Vladimir Putin, your days of war are numbered. you are on the losing side. Better to come to the table now than sacrifice more lives, waste more money, crater your economy, destroy your standing in the world. America stands with Ukraine.
How are you planning to overcome Democratic opposition in the House?
Well, I think that's why it was important to have both Democrat and Republican members of the House here tonight. I think we have time to continue to engage them, to let them know there's a lot of misunderstanding about what's in this narrowly constructed bill, because people are still looking at the bill that was first introduced. So I think we need to provide that background information. We need to talk to folks about what their concerns are, and we've got some time to do that because the House is not coming back for a while.
And we have members from
Yeah.
the House
I said
in the
that.
meeting, that we had, and that is not the usual thing for us to do.
And very simply, the House produced a bill that maybe we like. This bill is the one that will pass. This bill is the one that the president will sign. We want a law, not just a bill. And I think what you can see from the overwhelming vote is that we'll have a lot of momentum going into the House. So the folks who are serious in the House about helping Ukraine, helping them right now, should vote for this bill.
When this bill is passed, can the president not use tools in this bill to punish Russia? Does the bill give the president enough flexibility to just ignore this bill, so to say?
The bill doesn't require tariffs. It authorizes tariffs up to 100%, the 5 largest purchasers of Russian oil and gas. It's carefully crafted to make sure we are not hitting our allies and that we are hitting China and India. Let's be really blunt. China and India are the main culprits here. They purchase the vast majority of oil and gas. They are fueling Russia's war machine, and they are doing us no favors anywhere else in the world. And you can see the effect of tariffs by the recent history here. The president imposed tariffs of, I think it was about 25% on India, and they cut their purchases of Russian oil by 50%. Tariffs and sanctions have consequences, and the president is going to be under a lot of pressure to use them, and he is signing this bill with the expectation publicly that he will use them.
Thank you. Thank you all. Final question.
What estimated time are we talking about? It probably will be autumn, if I'm not mistaken. For the bill to have final passage.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what we'll do is we'll go through the process here. We'll work with our colleagues on both sides of the aisle to work to get a time agreement to try to get this through as quickly as possible. Then it will be in the House's court, so to speak. And so we're hopeful that they can see this momentum that we've built here in a bipartisan way. Just as Senator Blumenthal said, I mean, this is narrowly targeted. This gives flexibility but economic firepower to drive Putin to the table and end this war. At the end of the day, there have been 2 million people that have lost their life as a result of this absolutely indefensible aggression from Putin, and it's time to bring that to an end. So we need to stand shoulder to shoulder and show them that America is with them. Tonight, we heard from President Zelensky. We heard from President Stubbs. This is what they need, both from economic perspective, but also morale, and showing that we're ready to see this resolved. So we hope that our colleagues in the House will take this up quickly and then get it to the President's desk so that we can end this war.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you.
What was the main message from President Zelensky?
Thank you so much. Thank you for the mic.
That's a lot on my shoulder. Oi.
Make sure that he didn't get any hits, and then we'll be good for breakdown.
Good? Yeah, my feet are safe. And I usually still do a whole press conference with the camera.